Frank ranks week 41. We're almost towards the end of the year now. Let's check out these 7 comics right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanca, an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to talk about these 7 issues. And we have Marvel, we have DC, and we have the Independents, who's going to be up on top right now. But let's jump right into it. And we're going to have an independent book to start with. This is a #1 issue. It is by Dynamite. However, I was kind of hoping that we could kind of get away from some of the stuff from the movie, get away from some stuff from the actual cartoon, and kind of create its own little pocket dimension of the character. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So this takes place like in between her not getting invited to the christening and her actually cursing the baby, I guess. And she meets these twins because she opens this book and they're like ghostly forms, and she's trying to get power, and to get power she's got to go into this other dimension, and these twin ghosts are leading her there. And it just doesn't work. The artwork is extremely poor, although the cover looks kind of cool. The actual interior artwork is a lot to be desired. I'll just put it that way. It's a lot to be desired. It's a little bit all over the place and very sketchy and stuff to that effect. So, unfortunately, I will not be continuing, and I was really kind of disappointed. And speaking of disappointment, #6, and that is by Marvel, believe it or not. And I had really had high hopes for this, and that is Star Wars Dr. Aphra. This is #5, and I do like the character. I like the character as it was created originally, with the murder droids, and the fact that she was going to be like the Indiana Jones / Lara Croft of the Star Wars universe, and but she was a villain, so there was the twist in it. So she was more like a Catwoman type of character. This is by Cherish Chen, and again, of course, she was, I'm sure, cast because of the fact that Dr. Aphra is Asian, so you can't have anybody, in Marvel's eyes, anybody else writing this thing except for an Asian woman. And I think that limits your creativity quite a bit. But anyway, the artwork is decent. I thought the first issue was very, very promising, or else I wouldn't have continued it. But it slowly went downhill until it just fell off a cliff. There's literally nothing in here about archaeology whatsoever. It's her getting little pieces. In the beginning, she's helping Luke get little pieces, and then she's just delivering them to the Republic because Republic has a leash on her. And then by the last issue, she was like helping Chewbacca protect the prince or whatever else. And I'm like, what does that have to do with archaeology? Nothing. And she's not a fighter, so I don't even know where all that came from. And now she was told to get her sister. Where did her sister come from? Where did this idea even come from? It's left field completely. And, she ends up that her sister is now being hunted by bounty hunters, and she needs to take her sister back to the Republic with her. And and by the end of this, it just says the end. So apparently, this is the last issue, and thankfully so, because anymore, it was just going to go. I mean, it's already off a cliff, so it's already going to be in the drink at that point because it's in free fall. So anyway, unfortunately, she did not. I was kind of hoping she would save the character, and instead she assassinated it even further. So hopefully we do not see this character again for some time, and it just stays dead for a while. Also, let's go into. You see, it's Marvel. It is a Marvel book, and this is only the back of it, though. You can't. It's not Spider-Man. And this is number 5, and that is Moon Knight: Fist of Khonshu. I like the Scarlet Scarab in here, but this storyline with Wrecker is just crap. It is just bad. It's just not going anywhere. And I'm hoping it ends real soon because this is the weakest storyline that Jed MacKay has come up with so far. Another disappointment. So I have 3 disappointments back to back to back this week. And I do like what we have with Tigra in here, where Tigra is slightly jealous. I like all that. And then we have Clea, trying to help them on the magic side. But this really just needs to end. I hope the next issue is the end of this storyline with Wrecker because it's just not working. It just doesn't work. Especially after that really good storyline about the Asgardian guy. I like that one a lot. Before we get into number 4, see, I'm going fast this time. I might actually make 15 minutes. Remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. If you can, subscribe to, please do. Ring that bell, ding ding. And share this video out there so people know what Marvel and DC and the independents are doing. And also, remember too that I'm a writer myself, so you can check out my stuff on Amazon.com. Just type my name in, or there's a link in the description below. You'll see my 4-novel sci-fi extravaganza epic adventure called Destiny Aurora. So if you like Star Wars, Star Trek, Guardians of the Galaxy, it's got a little bit of all that in there. It was made into a board game, an RPG, a graphic novel, and it's also on Audible. And yeah, definitely check that out. I think you'll like it. If you are a fan of sci-fi, if you're also a fan of fantasy, I have my fantasy novel Tales of Ravenor the Iron Witch, which I am probably turning into an ebook right now. I'm trying to get all the pieces together, and that I'll probably launch on Kickstarter. And yeah, if you like Game of Thrones, if you like House of the Dragon, if Lord of the Rings, you're going to like all this because of the fact that we have magic and we have huge battles going on with orcs and witches and monsters, and it's really cool. Anyway, definitely check that out. And then we have my fantasy fairy tales of terror, which is my new graphic novel that was funded very well on Kickstarter, and I'm thinking about popping it up on Indiegogo, but right now I'm in late pledge. But definitely check that out. I got Psycho Cinderella, I got Killer Captain Hook, and they're all being chased around New York City by Tiger Lily, who's trying to stop them from reigniting magic in our world, and it's kind of really cool. Plus, for the campaign, I made little figures that I'm giving away as STLs with the campaign. It is a Kickstarter exclusive, or if I do Indiegogo, it'll be just a crowdfund exclusive. Anyway, definitely check that out. Go to fairytalesofterror.com. All right, and let's jump into now the last 4 here that I have. I liked them all. So it was just my level of enjoyment. Those 3 to me were trash, unfortunately. But all these are really worth reading. Okay, so we're gonna go to number 4, and that is Conan, Scourge of the Serpent. This is the continuation of the Blackstone stuff in some degree. So we have like 3 different storylines going on. One with Kull from Atlantis, and this is about the serpents that are shapeshifters. So he's going around in these like catacombs with this other guy who was like a spear guy, and the guy leaves, and then he comes back, and right off the bat I knew that it wasn't him; it was the shapeshifter. So we have that storyline going on. Then we have Conan, who got caught trying to steal stuff, and he's got to kill some guys because he stood down, but they attacked him anyway, and so we have a little battle going on there. And then we have the other one that takes place, I think, in the 20s or 30s, 1930s, with the guy that there's a woman that has a serpentine ring, and I guess she's getting possessed by the priestess or whatever. So we have these three different storylines going on right now. But again, it is a continuation of the Blackstone one. But this is Jim Zub does a good job. I tend to like everything that he does with Conan. All right, going on to number 3. This now the top 3 are really good, and definitely if you're a comic fan, you should be reading these. This is an independent book by Joshua Williamson, and that is G.I. Joe. This is the number 1 of the Dreadnought War, so it's still it's number 13, but it's number 1 of the new storyline. And they're going after Energon, which, because it's connected to the Transformers, it's also connected to Void Rivals, but I'm kind of written off Void Rivals. Kirkman has, I think, dragged that all the way down. He's dragged that so far, there's literally nothing left of the story anymore. So I really hope he finishes that up, because that is a non-continuous thing. That is like a one story and done. He's dragged it on to 24 issues now, 30 issues. He needs to stop. But anyway, so this one here is more about this one and the Transformers together, because even Hound is in this. And Duke goes on like a sabbatical to try to find Transformers, but then he gets a call saying, hey, we got a Cobra thing going on, and you're the closest guy, can you go check it out? And when he does, he's got Cobra Commander being ambushed by the Dreadnoks, and the one Dreadnought that was with them, or with him, turns on him and joins his buddies, and there's a whole battle going on, which then Duke jumps into and ends up rescuing Cobra Commander. And they gave Cobra Commander this like robotic hand with like a ray on the end of it. I thought that looked pretty cool. I thought that really worked for him. Meanwhile, you have Destro going, oh, he's getting attacked? Oh, well, sucks for him. I guess I'm taking over Cobra. That's good stuff. And of course, he says, Duke is like, yeah, I saved you, but I'm taking you back to command. So, good stuff. This is really, every issue has something good to it. And they changed Major Blood, who normally just had a patch, but now they gave him 2 robotic eyes, I guess, because Baron has gouged out both of his eyes. Oh, poor guy. All right. And this is actually a Marvel book all the way up at number 2. Can you believe it? Marvel at number 2. That is scary. And that is Emma Frost, the White Queen. This is the end of this 5-issue arc that takes place back in the 90s. So this is a continuation of like the Chris Claremont stuff. And it is really good. This is one by Amy Chu, right? So that's where I got them confused. Yes. So this is the Amy Chu one. She is being betrayed by the Black Queen and some of the other people inside their whole organization. And she's kind of routed out who the people are that are betrayed her. And Noor, who I thought was the betrayer, which is her right-hand girl, now she's supposed to be White Queen, right? So Noor is being promoted as White Queen. But they gave her a suit, kind of like Moon Knight, a white suit. Why wasn't she in like a dominatrix thing like that? That was inconsistent. Whoever decided that was a bad move, because it made everything inconsistent. Because the Black Queen's in like this dominatrix thing, she's in this dominatrix thing, and then you have one person that's supposed to be taking over for the White Queen, and she's in a suit. It doesn't work. But the last issue was really good. They basically threw her into a pit of Sentinels, and she was rescued at the last second by Mystique. So we knew Mystique was going to pop up in the Hellfire Club when this whole thing was going down, and of course she does. And then Noor changes again. We find out that Noor was really working for Emma the whole time and was helping her route out all these people. But then we find out, I really wish that, I think it was a missed opportunity for the Black Queen, because I think that her life should have been in danger. I think she should have pointed her out, because then we find out that she's working for Xavier. But at the same time, I think that if she was running away from it, she would have ran back to the Xavier school, I think that would have been a little more powerful than just her walking out, because she was the one that was plotting everything against her. I don't know why she was kind of left to not be held accountable at all. I thought that was kind of strange. But overall, this was a very good 5 issues, and everything moved. Every issue had something in it, and the fact that it was pretty nostalgia-based, I liked it a lot. So if you can pick this up on trade, if you're an X-Men fan, definitely do that. Okay, number 1! Drum roll, please! What is it? What is it? It is an independent book by Image, and this is Jeff Johns' Rook Exodus. The world building in here alone and the artwork by Fabok is bar none. So this is really an incredible series. If you get a chance to pick up the first 6 in trade, I definitely suggest doing that. It also took a sabbatical, and now it's back. I think he's going to do that for every 6 issues, which is fine. But this is also a very finite thing. Like, I don't see this continuing past 24 issues. But what's going on right now, and if he does kind of push it too far, it'll get old and stale, kind of like Void Rivals is right now. But let's hope it never gets that. Hope he's able to, kill it or make it, revitalize it in some way, whether on another planet or whatever else later on. Because if they just continue the same storyline over and over for like 2 years, it just gets stale. And that's what's happened with Void Rivals. But here they're chasing Direwolf's dad, because he's the only one that can fix the world engine, because Exodus is basically going to start falling apart. Although we have not seen the bear guy in a while now. But he's like connecting all the other wardens together, because each warden controls a separate facet of the animal kingdom of the planet. And Rook is with crows, although he ended up calling one Poe, which is a raven, which is what I called my bird, who was a raven in the Shadow Raven series. So, yeah, I was like, okay. But I like the look of the stag character, and then we also have the goat character in here as well. Both of them look really great, but I like the red helmet on the stag character. But anyway, they're fighting with the father right now, who has become very primal. And everything really works. That's all I can tell you. It really works in here. And now we're going to have the arachnid character, because we were fighting all these guys, but then the arachnid warden kind of is going to show up here at the end. So definitely going to see what happens. But very exciting, and the world building alone is worth the read. All right, well, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. If you can, subscribe, please do. Ring that bell, ding, ding. Share this video out there. Check out my stuff on Amazon. Definitely jump into Fairy Tales of Terror. You can check it out at fairytalesofterror.com. Have a great week, and I will see you in the next one. All right, thanks for watching.